Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Each new morning is a fresh canvas, a precious opportunity to become better than we were yesterday. It's in those quiet, early hours that we set the tone for the entire day, shaping our mindset, habits, and ultimately our destiny. Today, I want to share with you 12 things you must improve every morning to transform your life step by step. Imagine this for a moment. Each day is like a blank canvas, and in your hand, you hold the brush. That brush represents the choices you make. The question is, what will you create? Every single day presents a fresh opportunity, an opportunity to grow, to refine your thinking, to sharpen your skills, and to elevate your life to a new level. But let's be clear, growth doesn't happen by accident. It requires intention. It requires action. One of the most powerful truths I've learned is this: success is simply a few small disciplines practiced consistently. Failure, on the other hand, is just a few poor decisions repeated daily. The difference between the two, between success and failure, lies in the small, often overlooked choices we make every day. It's rarely the big changes that transform your life. It's the little, consistent improvements that compound over time. Over the years, I've narrowed it down to 10 key areas you need to improve daily. We're going to move through these quickly so we can focus on the action-oriented part. Your goal workshop. Your attitude is the foundation upon which everything else in your life is built. It shapes the way you see the world, how you face challenges, how you interact with others, and how you respond to setbacks. Improve it even slightly each day, and you'll start to notice your entire life shifting in a better direction. You might think, it's just how I feel. But I'll tell you, it's more than that. Your attitude is the lens through which you interpret everything around you. It's your perspective. And it either draws opportunity to you or pushes it away. Think about someone who's constantly negative, always complaining, always finding something wrong. How often do they find success or attract support? Not often. That attitude acts like a wall between them and the life they could be living. Now think about someone who radiates positivity. They're not naive. They're resilient. They look for the lesson in every situation. People naturally gravitate toward them. They attract opportunities, relationships, and trust. Improving your attitude is a daily discipline. Maybe today, you practice being more grateful. Tomorrow, you work on staying calm under pressure. The next day, you focus on being more encouraging to others. Bit by bit, you're laying the bricks of a solid, empowering mindset. And as your attitude strengthens, so does every other part of your life. Your career, your relationships, your health, and your happiness. The next area to develop daily is your ability to communicate. Why? Because everything in life revolves around communication. Whether you're closing a business deal, having a conversation with a loved one, or giving a presentation, your ability to clearly express yourself and truly understand others is what sets you apart. But communication isn't just about speaking. In fact, some of the most powerful communicators say very little. They listen, actively, attentively, and with empathy. They seek to understand, not just to reply. True communication is a two-way exchange. It's about clarity, connection, and impact. And like anything else, you can improve it step by step. Maybe today you focus on being a more thoughtful listener. Tomorrow, you work on expressing your thoughts with clarity and respect. The day after that, you practice giving feedback without criticism. These small refinements shape you into someone others trust, respect, and want to follow. Misunderstandings decrease. Conflicts dissolve more easily. Trust deepens. And here's the magic: the better you communicate, the more influence you have. The more influence you have, the more change you can inspire, not just in your own life, but in the lives of those around you. The third key area is self-discipline, the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when it's hard, inconvenient, or uncomfortable. Without self-discipline, even the best ideas and goals fall flat. It's not about talent. It's about follow-through. Think of self-discipline as a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start small. Maybe today, you get up 15 minutes earlier. Tomorrow, you stick to your workout even when you don't feel like it. The day after, you push through distractions to finish what you started. These small wins compound into major progress. But here's the key: self-discipline becomes easier when you turn it into habit. Once a behavior becomes automatic, it no longer requires as much willpower. It becomes part of who you are. For example, reading 10 pages of a good book daily might seem insignificant. But over time, it transforms your mind, your perspective, and your potential. Not because of a one-time burst of effort, but because of consistent, intentional discipline. I once knew a young man bursting with potential. He was smart, driven, full of ideas, but he struggled to follow through. He'd start strong, but get distracted and jump to the next idea. Because he lacked the discipline to finish, he never saw results. Talent may open doors, but only discipline keeps them open. One day, I sat down with him and said, "You need to work on your self-discipline. You've got to train yourself to stick with things until they're finished. Even when it's tough, even when it's dull, and even when you're not in the mood." And you know what? He took that advice seriously. He started with small wins, just completing one little task at a time. Gradually, he built up the mental strength to follow through on larger goals. Today, he's highly successful, and he'll tell you that mastering self-discipline made all the difference. Another powerful way to shift your mindset is by confronting and changing your limiting beliefs. Many of us are held back not by our circumstances, but by the thoughts we believe about ourselves and the world. We assume we can't do something just because we haven't done it before, or because someone once told us we're not capable. But those beliefs, they're just thoughts, and thoughts can be rewritten. So each day, make an effort to replace those limiting thoughts with empowering ones. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I'm learning how to do this." Instead of, "I'll never be successful," try, "I'm on my way to success." A little progress every day in your thinking can completely transform the way you see the world and your future. I once knew someone who struggled deeply with his mindset. He constantly focused on what was wrong, saw every challenge as impossible, and viewed failure as the end of the road. Because of that, he remained stuck. No matter how hard he tried, nothing changed. One day, I told him, "You need to start working on how you think. Stop looking at everything that's wrong and start asking yourself what's possible." He listened. He started small, reading a few pages of an encouraging book in the morning, practicing gratitude at night, and learning to shift his focus from obstacles to solutions. Over time, his mindset changed, and so did his life. He became more confident, more resilient, and far more successful. And it all began with a daily commitment to improving his outlook. Now let's talk about time. It's the most equal resource in the world. Everyone gets the same 24 hours. But how we use those hours determines everything. Time is valuable, and once it's spent, there's no getting it back. If you want to achieve meaningful goals, you've got to learn to use your time wisely. The good news: time management is a skill you can get better at every day. Maybe today you work on identifying your top priorities. Tomorrow, you tackle distractions. The next day, you practice saying no to the things that don't support your goals. These small daily changes compound. Before long, you'll be more productive and more focused on what truly matters. Ask yourself, how often are you busy, but not actually productive? How much time do you waste on things that don't really move your life forward, while the important stuff gets delayed? Being busy isn't the same as being effective. That's why improving how you manage your time is critical. It's about doing the right things at the right time, in the right way. One of the simplest ways to get better with time is to start each day with a plan. Spend a few minutes in the morning outlining what matters most for that day. What tasks are vital? What can you cut or delegate? And don't forget to plan your rest too. Breaks are as necessary as work. Without recharging, you'll burn out. Balance your day with both effort and recovery. Over the years, I've met countless people who felt overwhelmed, telling me, "Jim, I just don't have enough time." And I always tell them, you have the same amount of time as everyone else. The difference is how you use it. If you want to change your life, start by improving how you use your time. It's a daily effort. But with each step forward, your life will start to flow more efficiently and meaningfully. Next, let's talk about knowledge. The world is always evolving, and if you're not learning, you're falling behind. The more you know, the more you're capable of doing, and the more value you bring to your work and your relationships. More value means more rewards. So if you want to stay ahead in life, make it a habit to learn something new every day. How? Simple. Read a book. Listen to a podcast. Take a course. Watch a seminar. Today, read a helpful article in your field. Tomorrow, listen to a talk on self-growth. The next day, try a new skill. Over time, all these small efforts add up, and you'll be more informed, more skilled, and more ready to take on anything life throws at you. Learning doesn't end with school. In fact, real education begins when school ends. Formal education might help you make a living, but self-education will help you build a life. The most successful people never stop learning. They stay curious, they grow daily, and they invest in knowledge. One of the smartest men I ever knew was Mr. Schoaf. But he didn't get there by luck. He got there by choosing to learn every day. He once told me, "Jim, the more you learn, the more you earn." And he was right. I started reading, attending seminars, listening to recordings, doing anything I could to grow. And you know what? The more I grew, the more opportunities found me. That can happen for you too. Now let's talk about money. There's no such thing as the right day to ignore your finances. Your financial situation isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you build. Whether your goal is to get out of debt, grow wealth, or simply feel more secure, it starts with small, steady steps every day. The truth is, most people don't really understand money. They know how to earn it, but not how to manage it. That's why so many people struggle, no matter their income level. But here's the good news: anyone can get better with money. Today, start tracking your spending. Tomorrow, create a simple budget. Next, begin saving a small portion of your income. Those little steps lead to big changes over time. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. Plenty of people earn a lot, but still live paycheck to paycheck because they haven't learned solid financial habits. Meanwhile, others with smaller incomes manage to save, invest, and grow wealth. It all comes down to daily financial choices. You don't need to be an expert to improve your money situation. You just need to be consistent with smart, simple decisions. One of the best pieces of advice I ever heard. Spend less than you earn and invest the rest. Simple, powerful, life-changing. But again, this takes discipline. You've got to be willing to say no to short-term wants in order to say yes to long-term freedom. If you've ever looked at your bank statement and thought, where did all my money go? That's your signal to improve your financial habits. Take charge of your money before it takes charge of you. Small, intentional changes each day make all the difference. Finally, let's talk about personal development. Growth is what life is all about. If you're not growing, you're stagnating. And in today's fast-paced world, standing still means falling behind. So every day, do something to become a better version of yourself. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Today, you might work on becoming more self-aware, understanding your strengths, weaknesses, and behavior patterns. Tomorrow, you could focus on learning a new skill that helps you in your job or personal life. The next day, maybe you work on your emotional intelligence, learning to manage your feelings and build stronger connections with others. Each small improvement you make contributes to your overall progress, and over time, you'll realize you've become the person you always hoped to be. One of the most effective ways to grow personally is by setting goals. Clear and specific goals that push you to develop. But here's the crucial part: those goals need to align with your values, passions, and purpose. It's not just about accomplishing more, it's about becoming more. Becoming the type of person who can reach those goals is something you can work on daily. For example, today you might set a goal to read a chapter of a self-growth book. Tomorrow, you could practice a new habit for 10 minutes. The next day, reflect on your progress and adjust your plan as needed. Each of these small steps moves you forward on your personal growth journey. It's important to understand that personal development isn't just about acquiring new knowledge. It's also about letting go of what no longer serves you. Sometimes growth requires shedding old habits, beliefs, and mindsets that hold you back. Personal growth is a continuous journey of learning, evolving, and improving. The more dedicated you are to this process, the more you'll see positive changes in every part of your life. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned is this: you attract what you become. If you want to attract success, you must embody success in your habits, thoughts, and actions. If you want meaningful relationships, you need to become someone worthy of those relationships. If you want abundance, cultivate an abundant mindset. This is something you can develop daily. You can become more disciplined, focused, positive, and successful by making small improvements each day. Next, let's talk about purpose. That's incredibly important. Purpose gives your life meaning. It's the reason you get up every morning. It's what keeps you going even when times get tough. And here's the thing: you need to nurture your purpose every day. Constantly refine it, deepen it, and live it out in all you do. Some might say, I don't know my purpose, and that's perfectly okay. Purpose isn't something you discover all at once. It's something you uncover and grow over time. You can work on it daily. Maybe today, you spend time reflecting on what matters most to you. Tomorrow, take a small step toward your dreams. The next day, align your actions with your values. With consistent effort, your purpose will become clearer, stronger, and more fulfilling. When you live with purpose, everything else falls into place. Your work becomes meaningful, your relationships deepen, and challenges become opportunities for growth. Purpose is the foundation of a fulfilling life, and it's something to cultivate every day. I once spoke with a man who had wealth, fame, and success but was deeply unhappy. When I asked him about his purpose, he couldn't answer. He had spent so much time chasing success that he lost sight of why he wanted it. I told him he needed to find his purpose and live it daily. He took that advice seriously, started focusing on what truly mattered, helping others, making a difference, living with meaning. His life changed completely. He found happiness, fulfillment, and peace, all because he practiced living with purpose every day. Another essential daily practice is gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions you can cultivate, and it has the power to transform your life in ways you might not expect. When you focus on what you're grateful for, your attention shifts from what's missing to what's already good. This shift attracts more positivity into your life. Gratitude is simple to practice and doesn't require much time. Today, you might take a moment to appreciate the people who support you. Tomorrow, notice the small blessings you often overlook: your health, your home, your job. The following day, be thankful for the challenges that helped you grow. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, and over time, your entire outlook changes. Have you ever had a bad day when everything seemed to go wrong? We've all been there. But here's the secret: even on those days, there's something to be thankful for. Maybe a lesson learned from a mistake, or strength gained from overcoming hardship. Practicing gratitude makes even difficult times meaningful. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger and stronger the more you practice it. Best of all, living with gratitude attracts more things to be grateful for, creating a positive cycle of joy, abundance, and fulfillment that grows day by day. Gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It's also about taking action. When you're truly grateful, you want to give back, help others, and make a difference. That's why gratitude not only enriches your life, but also inspires you to improve the lives of those around you. Making gratitude a daily habit changes your perspective and behavior. It softens your heart, making you more generous, patient, and compassionate. Focusing on your blessings, big or small, helps you release the fear of scarcity, the worry that you don't have enough. This shift from fear to abundance is one of the greatest transformations you can make. Gratitude is like a muscle. It needs daily exercise to grow strong. Take a moment each day to reflect on what you appreciate, whether it's the sunshine, a meal, or a lesson from hardship. The size of the blessing doesn't matter. The act of gratitude itself is what counts. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring life's difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. Life has its challenges, but gratitude builds resilience. It helps you say, "This is tough, but I'm still thankful for the strength to get through it." Gratitude shifts your focus from problems to possibilities, giving you the energy and courage to keep moving forward. I knew a woman who faced great hardships. She lost her job, ended a relationship, and felt lost. Life was a daily struggle. One day, I encouraged her to find something to be grateful for, even in the hardest moments. At first, she thought it was impossible, but she started small. Each day, she wrote down one thing she appreciated. Gradually, her outlook shifted. She began to see chances where she'd seen barriers and started rebuilding her life. Today, she's happier and more successful than ever, and she credits gratitude for her transformation. One last thing about gratitude: it's contagious. When you live gratefully, people around you notice. Your positive attitude encourages others to see the good in their own lives. Your generosity inspires generosity in others. Your appreciation lifts those who might be struggling. So, by practicing gratitude daily, you're not only enhancing your own life, but you're also uplifting the lives of those around you. That's a powerful gift. Now, think about your life right now. Consider areas like your attitude, communication discipline, relationships, mindset, time management, finances, personal growth, purpose, and gratitude. How many of these could benefit from just a little daily improvement? And imagine what your life could look like if you committed to those small daily steps. That's the key to lasting change. Not one big leap, but small, consistent actions every day. That's where real magic happens. That's where transformation begins. I've seen it countless times. People who focus on making tiny daily improvements, concentrating on the journey instead of the outcome, achieve extraordinary results. Why? Because success naturally flows from small, consistent disciplines.